Hi guys, my name is Chidexi and welcome to another episode on the Truth Podcast. On today's episode, I am not alone. I'm with my baby girl. I'm going to allow her make a proper introduction of herself. Hi.
Hi guys, I'm IB, CEO, Touch of IB, Touch Central, Touch Academy, Touch,
Very
everything
big girl.
touching. It's
Very
me.
big girl.
Did I not deceive you? It's just small, my small SM.
You know what I want? Even let's start this. I want if there is no mercy. First of all, IB, your parents sent you to the abroad to school. You now finish and told them that. Me, I don't even know if you told them. You say you not
I didn't really tell them. No, but let's even start from the beginning. I feel like they didn't listen to me when I was saying it. Like, do you know when I was a child, then the age where they start asking you what do you want to be when you grow up. I actually said I wanted to be a hairdresser. I didn't even say hairstylist. I used to tell them.
You said that?
Yes, I used to say I want to be a hairdresser. You can call my parents and ask them.
What was their response then? They thought you were joking.
Funny thing is, they won't say anything. They'll tell their sisters. My dad will tell his sisters. My mom has sisters and brothers. And then, before you know, my aunts are coming. You say you want to be a hairdresser. What, do you know that that's not a good craft? Oh, you have to be a doctor. I'm like, okay, I guess we're going to do medicine. I didn't know that hairdresser is not a career. So, we're going to do medicine. And then when I was younger, I used to cut rats and things. I opened their bowels, and my grandmom gave me a table. So I'm like, okay, what's the next best thing? It's medicine, right? Yeah. Cool. So obviously I went to school for that. But
wait, you actually studied medicine?
Yes, I studied medical physiology.
It's a lie. Ha! If you were not making money, your father would have been crying.
Yes, I've actually even worked in a hospital. I've done deliveries. I've worked surgeries, circumcisions. I used to give injections. Yeah.
Here in Nigeria or
in Nigeria and in the UK as well, some form of a healthcare work as well. So but mostly in Nigeria. I did it. Funny enough, I did the hospital work in Nigeria before I even proper did the medical physiology study. So being in uni was weird because it's you're talking about sales, but I've already done surgery. So, so it was a very depressing. I'm like, can we get to the point?
Can we go past this?
It was it was a weird experience, but I feel like out of my depression in the UK, then I was like, I like hair. Every single day, if I'm not in uni, I'm in my room doing hair. I had friends, but they barely saw me. So even in Nigeria, it's weird when people are like, oh, you don't go out. I'm not an outgoing person. I had my times where I would go out, but I like to be indoors playing with hair.
That's the video that's trending right now. I talked about the beauty of being alone is not.
It's not loneliness.
Thank you. Because you are most productive. I am most productive when I am alone. Yeah. So I don't know how people cope being with people all the time.
So weird.
When did you... Anyway, let's go straight. You guys see, the topic for today is accountability in business. IB is a CEO. I am a CEO. But see, this CEO thing is not CEO.
Not my mouth. Not my mouth. Just on paper.
It is choking my life. So, you know what? I realized that sometimes I put my own personal money into my business. And sometimes, in fact, most of the times, I spend my business money. Let me not lie. All right? Because I don't know when this podcast will start paying my business.
Maybe not anytime soon.
I literally carried my business money to start this podcast. So
hopefully soon you'll start seeing it. Yes.
How do you draw the line? How? Teach us.
I don't know why she's saying teach us, because even me, I'm still looking for who teach me. But it's very, I don't know, you see the way you said, or you end up using your business money. I feel like with most business owners, that's everybody's struggle. But because you don't have a lot of people actually coming out to talk about it, most of the time you see people say, oh, I've opened a new shop.
Business is doing good.
My business is doing so well. I've done 50,000 sales. Even from those 50,000 sales, you may not even be seeing profits. So you may actually be ending up using your dash money or this person tipped you, take $300. That's the money you may be putting back into your business.
Sometimes it's your personal money you used to pay staff salary.
So funny enough, last year I took a sabbatical because I have been depressed. I have been diagnosed of depression. So I know what depression is. So I got to a point where from the beginning of January 2022 till April, I was going out. Like I was the outgoing person, I was the fun loving. So that's pretty much the person, because now at this point I'm meeting a lot of people. So that's the person that a lot of people knew. And then April, funny enough, in January, I already marked my calendar and said, April till June, I am not working. I'm not going to do nothing.
Please, is it not when you have money that you can't?
It's not.
It's not when
I
you have
promise.
money.
No, I promise you, it's not. You have sometimes, most times, in fact, every time, you have to put your mental health first.
Yeah, put. Oh, yeah, you have.
So I decided that those 3 months, I'm not going to be doing any.
Was that when you were renovating?
No, funny enough, it wasn't. But I had also decided that in 2022, I'm going to do my renovation. It's going to be a grand. I'm going to change the tiles, do everything major. But January, I've not seen 2022 money yet, but I've already said I'm not going to work 3 months and I'm still going to come and do my renovations. I don't know how God wants to do it, Sha.
When you made this decision, is it that you're not going to work, like your business won't open?
No, my business will be open. Me personally, I'm not going to work, right? Because at this point, I had, as far as I was concerned, I had workers that were efficient. But you see, those 3 months that I took, it put a lot of things into perspective for me, because when as a business owner, you have a lot of times where you have workers that they're doing eye service. But when you're someone that comes into work every day, it's very hard to miss it. I'm sorry, very easy to miss, because it's like, oh, everybody is doing so well. So, I should be able to travel. When I traveled, I remember so many times I called my lawyer, I said, please go and lock my shop. Because I'm not understanding it. I'm on a holiday that I've already prepared months ahead of time to go on. And then you guys are in the shop. You're supposed to be making money for my business. You're not making any money, but I'm supposed to be paying you salaries. And that didn't make sense to me at all. Like, it didn't make any sense. So, but in the when you want to talk about accountability means you're taking ownership, you're taking responsibility. So in as much as my business wasn't making any sales and I've said I'm not going to work, I still have to make sure that whatever is happening, I am taking responsibility for it. It was my decision. You see my life here, I always say I don't have any regrets. Anything I do with my chest. If my instincts are telling me this and I speak to a friend and the person is like, I feel like no. If I decide to go with that friend's this thing, I better know that it was my fault for not following my instincts. Exactly. No, it's okay to ask, but it's like, follow your own instincts. If you don't follow it, make sure that you're able to take responsibility for your actions. So by the time I came back, before I even came back, to be honest, I said, go and fire this person. Again, with accountability, you have to make sure that you understand the risks of whatever decisions you're making. People are not going to like you, especially when, you have a lot of clients, you have a lot of workers. You have to understand now, okay, not everybody is good for you. Not everybody is good for your business.
I always say not every customer is your customer, even to start with.
Exactly. They're chair hoppers and then they're clients. They're people that today you see them, tomorrow. That's why I call chair hoppers. They come in your chair today and then tomorrow they're in another person's chair. And even with the ones that are your clients, there's times where you would be unavailable and they would go somewhere else. But for me, I wouldn't consider you a client if, because I'm not available, you can't use my workers. Because I make sure that I train them to be able to at least give you, even if it's not 100%.
Ivy, do you remember 2021 when you were the only one doing hairstyling? I told you, remember when I came to your place, I told you, train your girls so you can be traveling. I said, Ivy, as you see me at the travel next week.
But you see the thing about it, right? There's a lot of services that you can easily say, I'm going to train somebody. With me, for the most part of my business, I didn't even have an assistant. I met this guy, he was a friend, and he told me, you're going to need to start employing people so you would be able to grow. I didn't really understand that, because I'm like, what are you talking about? I know how much money I make and I know how much money I would be losing if I'm paying people salary. And that's still something that sometimes I think back and I'm like, you know what? I could do this myself, but I've tasted having staff. I've tasted like
freedom.
It's so nice. It's like with the accountability thing again, right? You can't pick and choose. You either choose freedom and losing a little bit of money, or you choose overworking yourself and not even being able to live life and enjoy that money and then making all of that money. Do you understand? So you have to choose from the two. There's no, oh, let me take from here and take from here. No, you have to deal with the consequences. So like I was saying, I came back from Ghana. My business at this point, as far as I was concerned, it has crumbled. There's nothing left of it. it has crumbled. But because I also do trainings, with that part, I was still able to salvage. Because when I was in Ghana, I was doing trainings. When people were coming to Ghana to book me, because like I said, I'm on holiday. Ask any of them that I did their hair in Ghana. I charge $400 per styling.
Baby girl.
I'm on holiday and I still had clients that would book my flight to come to Nigeria to do their hair and all of that. It's not that there are no stylists to do it, but that's why I said they're clients and they're chair hoppers. They're people that, if IB is not around or more, make I just throw my...
But then again, I think that you built that. I think that because you were good, or because you are good rather.
To be honest, it's not even about being good. It's more understanding the client's want and avoiding see finish. You see finish. That is the beginning of...
You need to give us lecture on see. Do you know how you remember? You know how many of my clients will beg me, please help me now. IB doesn't reply her DM. Please, can I say?
It's not like that. I promise you, it's not even like that.
You don't like money.
It's when you put people in place, and that's why I'm a firm believer of fire as quickly as possible, so you can hire as quickly as possible. When somebody is fucking up, or you decide to change things up, because every so often you have to sit back, look at everything that's going on in your business. Okay, I'm making money from this. However, I'm losing money because of the same thing that's making me money. Do you understand? So you now have to switch it up. Okay, I have this many clients. I'm doing so much to make this much. If I was doing this amount and I was making this much and I still had a lot of time, that would make more sense to me. So when you decide to then change up things, a lot of people get uncomfortable.
IB, you're speaking in parable. Even me, I want to understand.
Let me break it down. If you're making 3 million naira every month and you're using... not even spending, you're using 15 hours of your day, 15 hours every day in 30 days, and that's what's making you 3 million naira. Imagine that you're able to do 5 hours every day in 30 days and able to make that 3 million naira. You have so much more time to do other things and make even more money. Do you understand? So in saying that, you would now have to put policies or practices into place. For example, you would maybe increase your rates. You would enforce your policies even more. That makes a lot of people uncomfortable. It makes workers uncomfortable. It makes clients uncomfortable because they're used to seeing, oh, when you come in the shop, whatever behavior you come with is accepted. But when somebody like me, I have a long policy that I sent to you. It's probably like 20 sentences or whatever that is sent to every client, or you have to send your hair into the shop 48 hours before your appointment. You have to make sure that you've paid a deposit. Then you start to get a lot of people that are uncomfortable. All those people that feel like, oh, they could come anytime. Oh, how far? I'm coming to your shop. And then you're like, I'm not available. They start to get uncomfortable and they're like, oh, she's proud now, or she's this, or she's that. You would have to be comfortable with getting all those side comments. You would have to also be comfortable with losing customers. Now, when it comes to the staff as well, you see all those workers that when they spoil something, they get away with it. You just say, oh, why did you spoil it? To shout. You use your money to spend and replace those. You replace those properties, or you start saying, okay, you know what? I'm paying you guys salaries and I don't really see the essence of paying you salaries, because at the end of the day, especially with my line of work,
you do everything.
Exactly. If most of the clients are coming for me to do the work, and in the month, let's say I attended to 20 clients or even 50 clients, and most of the clients, it was me that handled them, it doesn't make sense to me that I'm paying you salaries. So now I want to change the commission. You then have a lot of workers that are uncomfortable.
You do that?
Yes. Oh, nice. And so with that, that's with, okay, I've sat down to evaluate my problems and I'm like, you know what, this is my issue. I want to change up to this. When you do those things, you're going to eliminate a lot of the filth. You filter all the nonsense, and then whatever you have left, you would have to be comfortable with it. You can't be looking out to other people and say, "Wow, this one that their business. Oh my god, my business is not doing." Your business is not going to be as stressful as it was when you had those baggage, but because you're used to that stress or that or every day exerting energy, it would almost feel like you're not doing anything. So you know when they say count your blessings, name them one by one, you would have to start doing that. So you would have to be accountable for the people that you have left. That okay, this is the people that I have left, this is what they're bringing to my table, and it is efficient, it is substantial, it's going to be sustainable going forward. If you don't have that, and see, you will keep spending your business money, and you keep spending your personal. Like for the first 3 months of 2023, I had to make that decision.
This is 2020.
Yes, first 3 months of 2023, I've still fired at least 4 people from my team. And before that, in December, like I told you, when I came back from Ghana, I felt like my business had crumbled. Not really, but it's like
You felt like they couldn't work without you.
see the thing with business nowadays, social media is a big part. You have to be posting. Me, I don't like to post. I don't even like anything that's going to take me out of my comfort zone where I'm Netflixing and chilling, or I'm in my VIP room doing somebody's hair. It's stressful. It's a stressful situation for me already. So I wasn't really posting, but it wasn't that I wasn't working.
I know.
So when you're not posting, everybody else starts posting, and it's like, oh, there's all these other people, and then you have everybody's eyes looking. I'm not. Honestly, I wouldn't be worried about that. But when you have a team that is looking up to you to say, oh, my customers are not coming. So now I had to also check that. It's like, if I'm not working, you that you call yourself a hairstylist, you should be working. What are you doing to bring yourself customers? Because now I've provided you a salon, I've provided you products. Where are your customers?
Everything, yeah.
So you can't be going out there living off of my own influence or my own grace or whatever, because eventually when I cut you off, you have nothing to fall back on. And me, when I employ workers, I'm looking at your growth. If you're not growing, it means I'm not growing, because you're part of my team. So I might as well cut you off and move on with the rest of the people. So by the time I came back and I'm like, okay, I'm setting this into place, because you obviously as a business owner, you have workers that do more in a month than the other people. So I can't be paying all of you the same salary when one person is doing way more than you. Do you understand? So that was where the commission mindset came from. So if I'm doing commissions, then I'm paying the person that does more work than the other one that's just lazy, slouching around, doing absolutely nothing. So when you do commission as well, you also have to make sure that you're making them because if you're going to be accountable, they also have to be accountable. But you're the grand accountable officer.
Yeah, because they can even say that they did 5 when they did 3.
Thank you. So even the managers or whoever you're putting in place to be supervising could also be in cahoots with your workers.
Yeah.
So I had a situation where I've come back, I fired whoever is at my front desk, who is managing, or whoever is at the front desk. I fired a couple of workers. I felt like, they weren't really bringing anything to my team. And then I've employed a new set of people. Now, everything seemed to be going well, but I had one cancer from the last group that I didn't fire. I didn't fire her because, one, I didn't listen to my instincts. I listened to other people's opinions. Two, she was efficient, right? But you see, efficiency without great attitude is zero, because now you have somebody that, yes, she's good with the work, she's learned from me and she's picked up the right skills, but she has the wrong attitude. So you have customers complaining about her behavior, but not necessarily about her skill. So now I have to be doing a lot of, I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that.
Customer service is very important.
Exactly. Eventually, what you have is they've gone to speak to their friends, and their friends are like, so why are you still going there? I have somebody else for you. You start to lose customers. If I had eliminated her earlier, I wouldn't even have the issue that I had in December. And bear in mind, even in December, I made a lot of money. But making a lot of money and not being able to retain customers is also bad for business.
It's bad for business.
It's very bad for business. So January to March, I used it to fire and rehire. Right? Now, in saying that, by the time I'm firing and rehiring, I'm still seeing that you have the same situation going on. So it's almost like, I don't want to say it's a Nigerian thing, but here you have a lot of people that have that employee mindset. That's what I call it. Nobody thinks like a boss, but you want to be your boss. Do you understand?
Let me pause right here. Do you know you're just giving us masterclass? This is not talk.
You want to be a boss, but you have employee mindset.
Yeah.
Employee mindset is I come to work every day. My work time is 10 to 6. I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
Right? This is not a 9 to 5 work. This is even in banking jobs, you have people that they pay you more money because you're able to bring in a certain number of customers. So why do you think that with a service business it wouldn't be the same thing? Now, you have your employees, you've employed all of them. You're the one that's doing the marketing, you're the one that's doing the talking to clients, you're the one that's bringing in the new clients, you're the one that's buying products, you're the one that is
Literally everything.
you're doing everything. Then their own is to come to work, and the clients that you brought in my case, most of like 90% of the clients I'll bring in or clients I'll come in from me making a post on Instagram would come to me. 10% will go to you guys. But guess what? I'm using my money to pay you. And it didn't make any sense to me. Because it's very frustrating when you sit down at home and you're like, wait, I did all the work. Yes, you guys assisted
And I'm still
me,
dividing
but
it.
I still lost a lot of money because I'm going to end up paying you.
Yeah.
If I decided to reduce your number and then use those people that are even more efficient to me, I will still even pay them small money. Guess what? Because I'm just paying for labor. The rest of, or your assistant, basically, the rest of the job or the main job I'm doing, you're doing 20% of the job. Imagine that I pay you 20% of that money. How much are you really going to be getting paid? And then I end up actually keeping a lot of the money because I'm bringing every single thing, paying the rent, paying the lights, paying the water, paying diesel, buying products, still making sure that I create the content for you guys. So the least you can actually do is go outside and find customers. I even now told them, okay, you know what? Start bringing in people and telling them that you do their hair for free. You can't even do that.
Oh, wait. They are not serious.
So, like I said, I want a team that is growing. We in the Western world, right? If you go into a salon, everybody has their chair.
Yeah, they pay for chair.
Everybody pays for the chair. The reason why the salon is going to be like that is because everybody in there has worked on their skills. They pay for their own trainings. They go home and they work on their craft and whatever, and they still advertise on their page. But when they're directing you, they're going to tell you, "Oh, I'm a so and so place. This is where I work. You know, whatever." They have their own business inside of the business that is paying them. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So even if I'm not paying for chair, let's say the tables are turned, I'm not paying for chair, but you're gonna be paying me for every work that I do. Would it not make sense? Because guess what? Now I've said, okay, I'm gonna pay you for your clients. If you work on my clients, I'll also give you a percentage. Right? Would it not make sense that since 10% of my clients are coming to you, guess what? If you go outside and work on your own clients, you have even more income.
Yeah.
But nobody has that mentality. Everybody wants to come into work. Should be end month end.
They will pay.
I used to earn 50K or more. I have so many plans. What plans do you think you have that 50K will
You came here to attack me. That's what you came to do. You came here to attack me because you know how I was, whenever I have staff meeting, I usually open up to them so that they will see. I say, see, let's forget rent. Let's forget light bill forget light bill, diesel, fuel. Do you know how much we do advert? I tell them, you see here, our spa is in an estate.
Do you know how much you pay for your banner to be outside?
Let's not even talk about that one though. People will live, you know that it's not only this part that is in this Ikota. People will drive all the way down. Where do you think I get those people from? Do you know how much I spend on advert every week?
Girl, that's not even good.
Because one of my clients booked for her mom to come to the spa. So she came. You know how some people, they already, the staff that attended to her, she was already used to the fact that it was already closing hour. Let me just wait one more hour and go. And the woman stepped in. Come and see the way she was dragging her body like snail. Reluctantly dragging the woman. Hey, I love that woman. The woman stopped her there. Say, what's the meaning of this rubbish? If you don't want to work, get out. Where is the owner of this place? I was seeing it from the camera. I ran downstairs. She was like,
Why are you still? Yes, when are you firing this?
when are you firing this girl? What's the meaning? She was shouting. I was not begging. Say, you are a young girl. This is what you people do. Do you know how much she suffered to get to this level? And you came and you're dragging your body. Do you know how I got here? My spa is in Ikoyi. Is my daughter that?
That's why I said when you want to pay commission, you also have to make sure that they're accountable for that money that they're making.
Yeah.
Because I'll give you an example. If a client brings their hair to me and I make any mistake, I would use my money to fix it, right? Meaning I'm the owner of the business. I would, let's say I've messed up the color is not the color that she wants. I've already spent the money that she has paid. I will still need to spend money again to make sure that she is satisfied. Right, yeah. You see that customer satisfaction, that's where a lot of people run at loss. Yeah. Now, if my staff is the one that did the job and they've messed it up, it's still from the business money that we're going to give them to fix the issue, right? Guess what? If I'm going to be paying you commission, that means you're going to be getting fined for your mistakes. No, of course. Good. So if you ruin a client's hair, you're getting fined. If you're not wearing the appropriate uniform, you're getting fined. Yeah. If you're late, you're getting fined. Yeah. Even the wrong attitude to a client, that a client even sent me a message to complain about you, you're getting fined. Like the list is even endless. So if I'm going to be accountable for your behavior, you have to be accountable. And that's where you get a lot of workers getting uncomfortable. It's like, my madam is wicked. I honestly don't even give it.
You know, when I gather them for a meeting, the first thing I tell them, I'm wicked. See, I changed. Last year, I changed when they want to deal with me. My things were just, it's not easy to be buying one thing 2 times, 3 times. So now, it doesn't matter whether they think.
My own customers' hairs. I said when I came back, I said my business have crumbled because all the money that even the money that I was saying I was getting for $400, I was still sending money back to where I'm not even at. Like, I don't understand. So you've misplaced clients' heads, you're not paying for it, but then when I pay for it, you want to ghost. I said, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. If you spoil anything, you're gonna pay for it.
Of course.
You know how much. The manager is gonna tell you how much. You're not even, don't worry. I don't have any business to do. You and your manager can do.
I mean, that's what I do. Like, I started it last year. And if you break anything, you pay. If you say you don't have money, don't worry. I will pay your salary and remove it.
And that's why I said that employee mentality. Because if you were thinking like a boss, you would think, oh, this thing cost my madam a lot of money. I need to be careful.
I used to tell them, if it's your business, will you treat it? Exactly. So yeah,
if they were thinking like bosses, you wouldn't even need to be shouting if it's your business because you would handle it the way you would handle your business. That means you would also be checking your colleagues that this thing that you're doing, it makes sense. Do you understand? So you would be putting everybody in check as well. So you would be the one that's coming to tell your madam that this person did this and I don't think it's right. It's not about, oh, I don't want to be a snitch or whatever. If you're thinking like a boss, you would come and be reporting.
So to handle that, do you know what I did? Everybody, all my staff, I have like 8. All of them, they have 1 or 2 places they are accountable for. I have one that is in charge of massage room, another one in charge of facial room, another one kitchen, store. So if anything is missing in your location,
yes, you are the one that will pay.
Yes, it's either you send a person or you pay.
I did drawers for them and I put one of each product inside it. So if they come and check your drawer and it's not there, half an hour, where my money? Yes,
because you cannot be earning fully, and me, after paying you, I'll be crying inside my mind. No, let all of us be wicked though.
And guess what? They'll be the ones to message you, man. Have 5, we've not received salary. Tell you they want me.
If we want to talk about this thing, it's not like my staff know that I'm not wicked though. But if you want to show me wickedness,
I will show you back. I will show you back. My head, I will turn my head to the back like.
Well, I will hold your salary when you agree. Am I taking the money from your salary or you're going to buy it? There was one time they want to use me to play. Very little thing, no. As little as my teacup, the spoon.
They misplaced.
3 of them were missing. I told them, please, all of you, go and buy it. Oh, the complete set is 3,000. Go and buy it. I were 8. All of them were now reluctant. I said, if you don't buy it before the end of this month, I'll remove 2,000 from your salary. Then they joke with me. I just removed 2,000. So that money I removed was able to buy 4 of the set of that. I said, you people, you don't know me. Oh. If you don't want to work here, you can go.
So that was what I also did at the end of March, right? Remember I said I always advise every business owner, every month, do a reevaluation.
I'm scared of that.
Every month do a reevaluation, but also every 3 months, make sure that you've taken those 3 months evaluations and you put your foot down on policies. So if you're looking at the first 3 months of the year and you're like, okay, this is how much money we made, this is how much money I made, and this is how much money I had to spend for the business. Not about your own expenses that you went and bought shoe or you went and bought food from one restaurant. Exactly. So but this is how much money is this. This is how much money we've actually made this first quarter of the year.
Oh, okay.
Right? If the money we've made is only for you people's salary, then you are really useless to my company. Because I might as well save that money and put it back into my business and make some more.
Yeah.
So at this point now I'm thinking, okay, you know what? We're taking away salaries and we're going back to commission. Because when I draft out everything, I even realized that the people that were getting paid more were the people that were doing less work. Because
Some people are entitled because they think that they've been in the business for long.
it's not even about being in the business for long. At the end of the day, there's a reason why you've been in the business for 7 years and you've been working under people.
Oh my God.
If I've been doing hair since 2010. I sabi why do you not own your own shop?
Yeah.
Why do you not have people that you've worked with that can vouch for you and say, oh, this person is really good, go to their shop because I'm not available? If you don't have that, you're not growing.
Yeah.
So it's not about, oh, I've worked 7 years, that's why you should pay me 100K. Why? For what?
Go and open your own.
Go open your shop. Oh. So even I used to do that. I had people that maybe I had this guy that had worked for me for as long as I started employing workers. From the moment I started employing workers, it was my first worker. And then I was paying him commission and he was making stupid money.
Sometimes when you think about it, you now say, no, I want salary.
He was making stupid money. So I'm like, okay, you've learned enough as far as I'm concerned. But guess what? He was learning only the thing that I was paying him for. So I was paying him for wig making. He was only learning wig making. He didn't use the rest of his time to say, okay, let me even see this thing.
He didn't learn
Learn installation. He was like very subpar with it, but you're earning a lot of money. So by the time I've employed other people that are charging me less for the service that you're offering me, now you're a liability.
Yes.
And then guess what? Those ones, they're learning the thing that you're doing for me, and they're also learning the one that I'm doing. And I'm paying them more than 10 times less than I'm paying you. So beginning of the year, I'm just like, okay. He's like, madam, and he was very loyal, very efficient. He would come to work in time, do his thing. He would work till he's done with the job for the day, and then he would go home. So I'm like, okay. He's like, oh, madam, when I resume, I said, you're not resuming this year. I feel like you're able to stand on your own now because you've earned too much money
To stand.
Yeah, but when after that, instead of me seeing that, okay, you're doing your own thing. Yes, he had a page, but he had a page before that. But you're still in someone's shop, right? But I feel like eventually it kind of started to dawn on him because at the end of the day, it would seem like wickedness. They said there always how many stages of grief? You would feel like you'll be angry.
First of all, it's even denial first.
Denial, and then you're angry, and then before you get to acceptance, until you get to that acceptance, you don't grow from that situation.
Yeah.
So until you get to the point where you're like, this thing this woman actually did for me is good. Let me even go back and think on the things that she used to advise me about and put it into my life and see how it's going to work for me. Right? So, like I said, when it comes to workers, you have to, if you're going to be accountable, you will lose workers. I will pay you. Especially when you used to pay me. Because especially when you've spent so much time and resources training that person, and then it's like, oh, okay, now you feel like you've arrived and you're rude. The one that even annoys me is when I've trained you and then you're doing something, I'm like, don't do it like that, and you want to keep doing it. That means you feel like when how a chart goes, when it gets to its peak, it starts to drop. So once you feel like you have arrived, that's when it starts to drop. Do you understand? So my thing was, once I feel like a worker has gotten to that point where they feel like they don't need to be learning anymore, then you have to let them go. Because at the end of the day, they feel like, oh, what else do you even want to show me? But then really and truly, you have not even gotten there yet.
It's not started.
You understand? So I also had this worker that I said, okay, you guys should bring in models. Bring people, and so that you can practice and I can actually help you to improve on your...
Yeah.
Like, oh, he doesn't think people should be working for free. He should be doing people's hair for free. So guess what? Every month, without fail, he sits there morning, night, doesn't do anything. I say, wow, have fun now. I'm doing commission now. If you don't like it, pack your things and leave. And then he had damaged a lot of things. So by the time we cut his salary, it's like, oh, they're not sensitive or whatever. When they told me he left, I'm like, what did you think? I don't understand. Like, what did you think?
See, even me that I'm not into hair business, there's no way I would be around you that I will not learn. The fact I can do small makeup is because some of my friends are makeup artists. You gotta learn every time.
I applied a cleaner in December. He's a hairstylist right now.
Are you serious?
He wigs, he colors, he customizes frontals. I'm not even joking. He came as a cleaner. In a week, he was like, man, I just want to talk to you. I want to start work. I say, I will not pay you. I say, no problem. Now, even the other day he said he wants to install. His install was like, I was laughing at it, but I'm like, that's actually good for someone that I didn't sit down to teach.
That just with eyes.
Exactly. So that's why I say, if you feel like you have somebody that is not bringing anything to your table, best to let them go, because there's 1,001 people, not 1,001 people that know the skill, 1,001 people that want to work, that are willing to do anything just to get that opportunity and show themselves and learn. That's where you now have longevity with staff, because you don't want workers that after 2 years, those ones that'll say, I want work here 1 year plus. I will never ever put my all into you. I won't waste my resources on you. Yes, you can work.
Do people even say that?
Yes. Me, when I want to employ, because you have to sign a contract, so you have to be truthful. Yes. How long do you want to work for? Maybe 1 or 2 years. After that, I will own my business. How do you want to own your business when you have employee mentality?
You want to steal from me?
No, even if you steal, you don't understand. Even if you steal from me, if you have employee mentality, you can't even take my clients anywhere.
Yeah.
Because guess what? You're earning salary. Do you know how much it costs to own shop?
Some of my staff that said, that they will soon own their own shop. Oh, yeah, go rent now. They'll come back.
Even the lady that you were talking about that said she can't account for money in a business. So then that brings me to that point.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me read. So she said, I am doing business, but I can't account for it now. I'm out of capital.
So that's why I said it's almost every business, not everybody, but almost every business owners cry for help. Because you see, and that's another thing, right? Even abroad, don't get me wrong, even those ones too, they still cry, but at least they're crying small cry. It's not like, I use all the money, because then you have workers that are actually making the money for you and making their money. But you see, in Nigeria, the one thing that I experienced when I first moved back, when I first came back to Nigeria, I wasn't planning to move back. They said I should come for 30 December. And I was coming for 30.
My sister, we are getting there. I want to know.
I was coming for 30 December.
Everybody's leaving. Should we go?
I was like, my friend was like, have you ever attended? I've never been to Lagos. I think I've been to Lagos maybe twice when my mom was in Echo Hotel. I was like, I make her come. They're doing buffet. I came to chill. And then she was with her workers. So she was like, have you ever attended this? I'm like, what's that? Okay, cool. I'm coming. And then before you know it, I'm here and someone's like, I want to do content with you. I create content. People are messaging me like, who did your hair? I'm like, who would do my hair? I don't understand who is going to do my hair. It's not me. so they're like, I want to do my hair too. And then before you know it, people are like messaging me. And I had this, there was, when I was in the UK, some one Snapchat page messaged me to like take over the Snap. They did like the Snap takeover. So I didn't even realize I had a lot of people in Nigeria, in Lagos, that were already following me at the time. So those ones are like, oh my God, you're in Lagos. I want to do my hair. I'm like, okay, you guys, wait first.
Are we on the same page?
But in the same light. So by the time I came, and then when people are messaging me, they're like, how much are you gonna charge? And then I'm giving them the price I would charge if I was in the UK. Then one of my former acquaintances is like, you can't be charging UK price, you have to charge Nigerian price. And as far as I was concerned, I didn't really understand that logic, because because at the end of the day, it's how I value myself and my skill. And I also found a niche that nobody was like really in Nigeria. People were doing ponytails, they were doing editorial looks. That's not me. I was the frontal girl. And all the people that I was still wearing frontals, I'm like, it look good to you? So, but it was very frustrating, because I came into a community that people were okay with the subpar installs that they were carrying. So it was kind of hard for me to then break into that market.
Also charge that kind of amount.
After 2 months, I wanted to jackpot too. I won't even lie to you.
Oh, you actually stayed back and started.
I was like, okay, cool. And then I was staying in a service apartment that I didn't even know that the money I was using to pay for a service apartment I could have used to get a place. But remember, I said I didn't plan to come back. So there were a lot of mistakes that I made, and then I was exhausted mentally so quickly. So I'd exhausted all my resources, I'd exhausted my mental capacity, and I was like, what make I dey go back my house? I beg, this is the but don't do me. For me, I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. Traffic, everything. I'm actually done. You can't even get good products here, and people still want to price you stupid prices. Mama, God humbled me. Say, my friend, will you go back? My friend, come on, go. Where are you going? We're running to where? So I came back, and then I'm like, you know what? Deep breath. I didn't even want to start from there. I said, make I just I like playing with hair. Make I just play. I don't even want to, don't worry, don't even patronize me. And then one day I went to get my nails done and I met Chloe. And that's where my work started. Please, I met Chloe and she's like, oh my God, I had this purple wig on. She said, if you know Chloe, if you sell this cup and it's purple, she will buy it 5 million.
Oh, she loves purple.
She loves purple. I didn't know that at the time. And she had just come out of Big Brother house. I didn't really know her because I didn't used to watch Big Brother until that year. But that year I watched it. So I think I watched when she came back into the house and then she left. And I'm not even sure. I think there was one, funny enough, it's so weird. Like life happens the way you want it. People always talk about manifestation or prayers or whatever you want to call it. But whatever you put into the world, it always comes back to you. That's how life is. So I remember when I was watching I don't remember if it was the Welcome Show or whatever, but it was so random. I wasn't following the show, but I remember seeing her and she was the only person that had her wig sort of right when everybody was coming into the house. So I'm like, this girl, I like her wig go. And then coincidentally, it was her. And to be honest, I even forgot that part of the situation. Yeah. So she's like, oh, I like your hair. Where did you get it from? I said, she's like, oh, did you get it here? Like at the place where I got my nails done. I'm like, no. I just came to do my nails. She's like, oh, please, I want the hair. Give me your number, everything. From there, we went to have, that girl is weird. Just met me. Just met me. And she's like, oh, let's go have dinner. We went to have dinner. She's like, oh, I'm going out tonight. Let's go out. I'm like, you know, you just pay me for hair, Abby. And I've not even done the hair yet. I want to be taking me out. So we went out and, you know, it just happened like that. I was doing her hair and Chloe was actually the one that used to take my bookings. She'd just be like, Abby, somebody wants to come out today.
Oh, that's so nice.
So she was like, I was doing her hair and she's this Big Brother celebrity, but she was taking my bookings. She was like my PA or be my manager or whatever it was. So that's pretty much how it happened. So like I said, God humbled me, but it was still a great situation where I'm just coming into this environment. I don't even know anybody. I don't have like years in the business or in the country that people, you know, I don't have all those years of experience or years where a lot of people know me and, you know, they can vouch for me. It's just this one person that just makes me. And my work as at that time was not even anything. To be honest, when I look back, I'm like, how did this girl even want me to do that? But, you know, I was now getting to meet all the celebrities as at that time I was doing, everybody that was coming out of Big Brother's house, she would make sure I did their hair. And I did not do their hair for free.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't like do my hair, I'll give you exposure or whatever. It was more, I would give you a discount and you still give me a shout out because again, it was from Chloe. Yeah. Chloe is the one that's like, oh, use her, you know, she's good and whatever. And I feel like, to be honest, Loki, you're probably going to meet them that, but you do not tag her.
Hey, yeah. That means she's a nice person.
Yes, she is. So, you know, that relationship, and then before you know, my business was blossoming into like something so big. So with that, I started to have not just celebrity clients, I also had like regular people that, you know,
that wanted to associate.
Yes. And also some of them eventually became friends. Someone like Winifred. Winifred has been my client. Winifred to Chloe is the one that booked her. Winifred has been my day one. And she's still, you know, my client. So,
Winnie is so good.
Like I said, even Sophie as well, Sophia Soje, all of them. So it's not even about, you know, the celebrity part of it or anything like that, but it's more people that from my 15K installs to me being 30K to me being 70K.
Babe, 70K?
I said I'm gonna go into that, right?
When I did mine was what, 45 or so.
But like that's what I mean. Like when I was doing 15K installs, I had a lot of people. And then when I decided to become 30K or even 25, I still had a lot of people. But I also realized that it was a situation where, okay, this hairstylist is here. She's good. Not a lot of people are good.
Yeah.
I can afford to actually go to 25 and still retain those customers. Now I want to go to 30K. I've started doing trainings. A lot of people have started to see the work and also want to improve their own skills. Like, oh my God, why is it only this girl? I'm gonna do. And then you also have people that have trained that are also making sure that they're improving their skills. Now you have a lot of people in the market. The market is getting more saturated. So you now have people that are starting with that 15K price. So clients are like, oh,
Shifting a bit.
let me go to 15K.
After all, she trained.
Hey, do you understand? After all, and this one too, she trained with this other person in the UK. I'm going there. Now I'm decided I want to go 30K. I'm reducing, my clients are reducing. Guess what? I'm doing less work, but I'm still making as much money as these other people are making. So when I'm at 35K, you still have more people are coming up. Guess what? Even those people that are 15 that want to move, they're scared because it's like, I'm going to lose clients. You can't be scared to lose clients.
Oh my God.
Because every day products increase, product prices increase. Glue, you can see glue.
Increase.
You can see me now. So most of my products I buy in Ghana. Imagine the trip to Ghana, how much the products are gonna be.
Our products, they're better.
Yes, they have better products. They say they have no. I don't want to say better. They have great products, but then they have products that in Nigeria they're not selling, and those are products that I like and I use. Me, I will go every night. I will go to mass if I see product that I like there. I'm gonna go and pick it up and bring it down. So if I'm spending the money buying products from like Canada or Ghana or wherever I'm buying my products for, just to make sure that the quality I'm giving you is 100%, I'm going to charge according to my products. I'm not going to charge according to what everybody else is charging.
That's buying from Balogun.
Exactly. So I'd rather use my clients for my my products for my 10 clients and get my money from those 10 clients than charge so less so that I can get the masses and get seemingly a lot of money. But guess what? I'm using all the money back into the products and it's not profitable for me. So
And they will say, oh, it did not last. So why is it pulling out?
thank you. You have to make those conscious decisions and stick to them. Because in as much as I've started my 70K and I'm like, oh, more. Baby, I lost some clients. But guess what?
Let me go and do apprentice.
No, but guess what? Out of that 70K that I'm charging, right? Imagine before when I was charging 35 and I was working 15 hours. Now I can work 7 hours and still make as much money.
Yeah.
And still and still focus on other things, right? I can still afford to have time for my trainings. I have time to do online classes, which is another source of income.
I wanted to ask you this question, right? At some point, do you ever feel like I'm giving out my knowledge too much? Do you feel threatened or something?
I don't. In fact, I always say my retirement plan is training.
Because you're doing so well at it.
Like every time I do trainings, I have even more students than the last.
Yes.
And it's honestly for me a breath of fresh air. This question you've asked me, a lot of people have asked me that, like, oh, how are you giving so much information? Especially when I started to do online classes, they're like, oh, some people can buy it and share it for 7 people. I don't even care. Like, like I always say, if you paid for my class in 2022, it would do you well to pay for my class in 2023.
There's always an upgrade.
Even my online class now, I told them, I said, if you're in my online class, you're benefiting a lot, because I may have done a video last week with this technique. This week, I'm already changing technical. So it's even good for you that you're in the online class so you can get to see the new techniques as I change.
So that means even you yourself, you improve yourself every day.
Right, like I said, I'm still learning, so I don't know why you're telling me to teach you. Even when I do trainings, I'm like, I don't know how you people thought I'm the right person for you. But
you are so good because, for you to know a good teacher is one that students go to. Yeah. Every time you teach, you train, a lot more people are coming. So we don't even need a tutor to tell us that you've been so great at it. But you know how this mentality of, service business is so different from product business. There's this mentality of, what if I teach her and she now come to steal all?
I'm not saying though.
Because customers self, you can't trust them.
My students, I even post their work. I'm always so proud. Like, oh my God. Oh my God, this is your work. Like, I'm so excited. But you see me in your comment section, like if you post on Snapchat, I'm like, hailing, and then those ones are like, master, you are hailing my work. But it's like, it's honestly very nice for me to see, because I know the struggle when I came to Lagos and there weren't a lot of people doing what I was doing, right? So honestly, it's easy to even feel like, maybe I mean, no sabi the thing where they do now, because if everybody is doing this and everybody seems to like it, then I might as well conform. But I always say, I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm not checking to see how many followers you have or how many customers you have or how full your salon is or how scanty it is. I'm in competition with IB of yesterday. Alpha, this what thing I be doing yesterday. I got pass out.
Yes,
That's it for me. That's it for me.
because the competition is even too much.
If you wanna sit back and start looking at what this person is doing for you, Instagram will even help you and be bringing more people for you to see. So
You'll be depressed.
depression will kill you.
Okay, now I want to ask you this question because I keep asking people that had opportunities of being anywhere else than Nigeria. How come a lot of people are shutting down their businesses and Jack Barry?
Can't blame them.
Can't blame them too, you know? But then you had that good life. You studied abroad, which is even better. That means better opportunity to work in a good place. How come
I was earning so much money. It was sweet, I can't even lie.
you see, how come you are still here? What are you going to tell somebody that is trying, that just needs this one word? What are you going to say so that they will not change their mind? Because even me, I dey ask for myself.
So every time I have this conversation, I even try to avoid the conversation because it almost goes from me giving advice to is it and because you have gone before now.
Yeah.
That's why you want to say that. But
We dey travel, but Jackpot dey different.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've experienced both sides of the coin, right? And my mom always says there's no place like home. If you're struggling abroad, you feel no get money to buy Gary. But if you're struggling in Nigeria, you can buy Gary and drink Gary at home. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, but that's not necessarily a reason to not japa because really and truly, depending on what you're offering to the world, your own greener pastures could actually be abroad.
outside, yeah.
But it's not that you now want to go abroad simply because your friend went abroad.
Oh my God.
I always say, if you're lazy in Lagos, you'll be lazy in Canada. If you don't have any sense of business in Lagos, you're not going to have any sense of business in Canada. If you have employer mentality in Lagos, you will have employer mentality in Canada. So it's better to actually work on yourself and improve yourself and allow God to guide you to where your greener pastures is going to be. You don't even know your greener pastures can be in Togo and Benin. You never know because you have to figure out what it is that you're bringing to the table. Just because there are 50,000 hairstylists doesn't mean that you're not going to be that hairstylist that in 2 years everybody's going to be looking for. In fact, maybe in a month, excuse me, people are going to be looking for you. It's not about who called your name and who didn't call your name. When I wake up in the morning and I want to pray, I always say, God, please carry my name to places that my leg will not enter. So that I don't go and stress myself and be pursuing who know they pursue me.
That's a very serious prayer.
Carry me, put me in rooms where my leg is not going to enter. And when I put it in God's hands, I know that God's plan for me is best, right? So he's not going to carry me into a room and badmouth me. So I'm not going to tell my friend, I beg, help me and talk to your friend now. What if they go and talk to your friend and say the worst things? So now me and God, God, I beg, carry me to places that my leg is not going to carry me. Exalt I beg, use my business to your glory in places that my leg will not enter.
Okay, now let me say this. What do you feel any pressure from people saying they cannot afford you? Do you feel any pressure? Truthfully. I mean, because I know you bad.
You throw me under the bus. You throw me under the bus. But
You bad, go on, just talk. Because how can one girl just say, this is my price, I don't want it?
I'm a very I don't want to say blunt, but I try not to be rude, right? I feel like there was a time in my life that I was affordable. And even at that time, there were still people that thought I was too expensive.
Afford it.
Exactly. So if now people still don't think that I'm affordable and some people think I'm affordable, I'm honestly okay with both of them. I don't put pressure on myself. Even in a economic crisis, if people are able to still afford me, I count that as a blessing.
Yeah.
Every single day, like, oh, 2 people booked me. Shit. Oh, make I go buy ice cream. So it's not any pressure on me because I also have workers now that you can afford.
Oh, so your workers are lesser.
So I have my price list. You see it head stylist, and then you see VIP, IB, or whatever. So you not being able to afford me is not my problem.
You can afford them.
You can afford them. So you can't make an excuse to say, oh, you cannot, because even them, you can also be their client because I've told them that you can charge anything, right? So if you're saying you can't afford IB, but you can't patronize my brand, not necessarily me. right? Even if I'm charging 10K, it's not a me problem. It's a you problem. You don't want to. And it's not a
How did you just turn this table on us?
gaslighting is real. Because at the end of the day, when people say that to me, I feel gaslit because it's like, but like,
Yeah, where did that come from now? Oh, yeah, cool, that thing.
do you understand? It last year when I was cheaper, you didn't patronize me. So now that I'm more expensive, how are you gonna come and tell me, oh, it's because I can't afford you? That's
I feel like you're going to be like when some people ask for maybe they asked last year and you said maybe 30K or something, and then they now ask this year. I feel like you boss laugh. I know you are petty. You'll be like, really?
that's the thing. I'm not the one that's handling my social media, especially Touch of IB.
You're not
I post the content, but
to reply.
when it comes to messages, I may be working, so I have somebody that usually responds so that you have quicker responses. To be honest, a few days ago I told her stop, don't reply again.
Why?
I'll reply by myself. But I then reply late because I may be working or I'll be doing something else. But I told her that because I realized the way she's interacting with the clients is not the way I would like to interact with the clients. So I prefer a more personable conversation, but still making sure that it's professional. That's why I say avoid see finish. When your client say chimo or wele or you now say ma yes, so you don't
If somebody say Chimo, wait till you go reply.
like, that's just how it is right now. Because at the end of the day, you have to be personable.
Yeah, we follow you and laugh, but that's the price.
You have to be personable with a sprinkle of professional.
Oh yeah.
You have to make sure that you're in check.
Before they see finish you.
Keep yourself in check. So not because the client said, it's too much, you not say, oh, okay, maybe you said 500K, you not say, okay, I can do it for you. 300.
Last.
Me, I will know that I can still talk more. Let's still keep negotiating. That's what you've told me. So if at all you even want to do anything, maybe like 20K or like depending, make sure that you're still making your capital and at least even 30% of your profits. If you go over and beyond simply because you want to satisfy a client that may not even come back later, you have played yourself.
I be big play.
Even if you're going to do sales, make sure that you're making your turnover is always important.
Oh yes, very.
So, don't go and burn yourself simply because you want to please somebody or you want to please a client, and then now at the end of the month you're like, I didn't even make money. Well, you're the reason why you didn't make money.
If you see what these people did to me, November, you know how they do Black Friday, 25th, right? November. My dear sister, I go do first time in my life I did Black Friday, 50% off. They wanted to finish me. In one day, I sell like 1 million, but say na half of the money. But I know what I used to
Restock.
restock those was more than that money.
That's what I'm saying. So
I now knew that's rubbish.
Exactly. So in March I did birthday sales. And the reason why I did that was for my workers, because I wanted to show them. I say, you see, sales, people like sales
very well.
But where you have a problem is when the people that patronize you during the sales don't patronize you when you have your regular.
Why do people do that?
No, it's not even about the people. That's when you have a problem, because that means even given the opportunity, you're still not able to retain customers. So you have to check yourself. Aside from, because there's still people that, okay, it's only when you're doing.
Do you know there are some of my customers that will come and ask, after when are we doing? I say, why you know if you pay me full money?
So for those ones, I don't necessarily consider them clients. I consider them chair hoppers, because now once I'm not doing sales, they'll go to the next person that's doing sales. Yes. So I did 15K on all services, and it wasn't me, because I wasn't even in Lagos.
When I saw that, I said, is it IB?
Everybody was like, IB. But my workers, they liked it. They're like, March was so nice.
They were seeing people.
I said, March was so nice.
For who, really?
For who? Because you guys offered your services at below the rates that I've already set for you, right? Your own rate is 30K. You've done half the price. And then for coloring, you're the one that's doing the coloring.
But it's my product.
The products that you're using. And I know how much bleach costs. Now, because you're doing 15% and 15K for coloring, somebody will now bring one hair that you may need two tubs of bleach to do.
Some people will pack 5 hairs and
exactly. That's me running at a loss. But I don't mind that, because sometimes you need to sacrifice for your business. Now, where I have an issue with you is in April, where are the customers?
Okay.
Because I gave you the opportunity to bring in clients, you were not able to sustain them. So you didn't do anything with the opportunity given to you. And now we have an issue. So that's why I say we're going to commission. I'm getting 10% off of my clients, and then you get 40% if you bring your own clients.
Abi, are you seeing what this is saying?
Exactly.
It's too much. For I said this in the last time. Sometimes we that own physical business, sometimes 50% of our profit goes back into the business.
More than 50%. Depending on the business that you're doing, and depending on the kind of person that you are. If you're somebody that you don't mind using cheap products, you probably get away with it. But if you're somebody that you like, or more the best of the best, you will use 100% of your.
Like I checked my income, I checked all my expenses. I say, wait till they go on here. Wait, oh, did I come to Lagos to feed you people? Your staff would think that, oh, you've made so much money because they are working, and oh, maybe they are seeing end of the day they are seeing money. Oh yeah, do end of the month, do expenses.
Me, I even told my manager. I said, every Sunday, do a breakdown.
Oh no, we do it every day.
No, every day she writes it down, but every Sunday, do a breakdown, and then tell me if you're making any money.
It's only people working on my front desk that know that we are either some months, yes, some months we are winning, some months, yes.
December was a sweet month. I can't even lie.
Oh, yes.
And I increased my prices in December.
And then patronize. You know one funny thing? December in Lagos, every service business always enjoy because there was something we called Dirty December.
But do you know what's funny? 2021 December, I didn't even make as much money as I made in 2022 December when I increased my prices. In December 2022, I wasn't even able to attend to my regulars. Do you understand? And that's a year that I was barely even available. Like I said, I came back and my business had crumbled. So I didn't even really work.
You did your
Renovation. So I didn't work October, November. December, 1st of December, I increased my rates. And I didn't even have any regulars.
They said that is the shop money that you
Yeah, I must make it back. For what? If you're a business person, every money that you're putting in, even if they dash you the money, for you to sustain your business, you have to care about the money that is going into the business. Yeah. You have to care about making sure that you're able to make. Yes, yeah. You have to make sure that you're able to make that money back.
Yeah.
If I buy hair and this hair is $1,000, if I cannot sell that hair for 1,500, 1,700, that's a rip-off for me. Yes. I'm very hurt. I'm sitting down, I'm like, this thing pay me. It pay me. It's not about making your capital back. It's about making profit because
it's risks.
No, it's not even just risk. At the end of the day, you're not just selling a product, you're selling your time. Yeah. Time is money. That's my mantra. Time is money. And that's why I said, when I increase my rates, I have less time working the chair and then more time to focus on other businesses that I don't even have to give my 24 hours to and I'll still make enough money. Yeah. Do you understand? So let's say my online class, for example, it's literally me on social media.
Yeah.
I'm texting. So I'm using my texting time to make money. Do you get? People that do online classes, I don't know that they understand that, but that's like a good business for you. Because it's like, okay, you've recorded something that you were actually doing and probably even made money off of. And then you're using it to sell it to 1,000 people and you're making way more money off of it. Or like my trainings, for example, it's something that I know, it's something that I've learned, I've worked on, and I'm selling my time. Yeah. It's not even just the skill, because as far as I'm concerned, you can learn. I can even give you, if you want 1 month, I can give you anything you want. But I'm selling my time. And in selling my time, I need to make sure that time is also valuable to you and you're making sure that you're taking advantage of that time very well. You're making good use of that time. For someone that wants to waste my time, I honestly don't even want your money, to be honest. If you want to waste my time, keep your money, thank you. But if you want to waste my time, you want to pay for that wasted time, that girl day for you. But yeah, it's not even with people that sell products. It's not just about the product that you're selling. Your time that you use to make those products matters.
That's this year I told myself I'm shifting, like consciously I'm shifting from my business. I've set in structures. This year I've traveled like twice and I've set in structures that my business can run without me. So now I'm shifting towards digital business, like creating my courses, writing my book, things that can be on seller and millions of people are buying at the same time and the internet is not crashing and my money is getting to me. Because if you live in Lagos, you need multiple sources of income.
You need multiple, so you can't be crying about one. If you're crying about one, then you're doing something wrong. Trust and believe. You have to have businesses that even in your absence is going well.
Yeah.
And then you have to have businesses that, okay, I actually have to be here. That's why sometimes when I see some salons and they're like, oh, my business is not doing well. You see the thing with accountability, you have to show up. Yeah. You can't tell your workers, be at work at 10 o'clock and you're strolling in at 12. You have to lead by example. If you're telling your workers that, okay, Mondays are off days in the shop, right? Mm-hmm. But I also told them that as a stylist, you should be able to give yourself 100%. Yeah. Meaning, if a client wants to come in on Monday, I'm going to charge you more, but I'm going to make myself available. Yeah. If I'm saying that to my workers, that means me too. I have to make sure that I'm available on Mondays as well. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? If I'm telling my workers, oh, unless you're exhausted, because I always make sure that you're physically able to do it. If you're if the whole day you didn't do any work and then the client is saying, oh my God, can I come in? And it's 8 p.m. You are in the shop. Which one is, oh, we are closed. Sure you did why me? Because me, if you call me at 8, I'm coming. What's up? Where, how far? Which you want to do? Bring cash. Can't you take cash for squander?
See, you see this stuff. If you don't open eye for them, they will run you.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're not leading by example, you can't really and truly, you can't come and sit down and have meeting and say, oh, you guys, I told you not to do this and you did it. I have a policy that says if your wig is not done properly, I'm not going to touch it. We're going to have to re-wig. Exactly. We're going. It's the way I stated it. If your wig is not acceptable by the stylist and you have to make sure that everything is in right order before we install. And if you don't agree, take your wig and go. Now, imagine that a client comes, the wig is not rigged properly, and I'm like, okay, don't worry, we'll manage.
And then you don't give the result.
And then my staff does the same thing. How do I want to shout for you? Yeah. So you have to be accountable for yourself. You have to be accountable for your staff. You have to be accountable for the business and accountable for the clients. Yeah. So meaning, if your client is coming into the shop and your policy says no shouting, ma, please, can you not raise your voice? Don't worry, somebody is going to attend to you, and you decide that you want to keep raising your voice. Kindly leave.
You do that?
Yes. But seriously though, especially if it's a situation that, okay, somebody is here now to actually sort the issue with you. Mm-hmm. Please take your money and leave. Yeah. I'm not offering a service to you. Now, you now have a lot of people say, oh, they're so rude in that place. Not really, because you've come into an establishment that has clearly stated rules that if you went to another establishment abroad, you would not do. So if when you decide that, okay, you wanna place, if you're gonna do policies or whatever, you have to enforce them. And you would also have to have a tough skin to people's responses to your policy. Like you see this weak thing, it's a serious matter. Because some people will come and be like, but when I went to another place, they call, I said, okay, I'm not even gonna tell you go there. I'm just telling you that I can't charge you for something that I know I don't believe in. Like I don't believe in the quality or the outcome of this thing. So I'm not going to take your money. Carry your hair and go. You don't need to shout. It's not fights. The policy stated bring your wig 48 hours. You brought it in the day that you came for the appointment. So you have to be ready to deal with any of the consequences. Yeah. So once you're missing the point or you're not following the policy, you cannot then come and be claiming customized rights. How? You were given, that's what I tell myself. If you don't give them the policy, then they can come here and be making noise because you didn't tell them ahead of time. But if you've been told ahead of time, you kind of have to respect yourself because respect is reciprocal. Like, like it's just how it is. Like, if you're not gonna do this abroad, why do you feel the need to do it? Because it's a Nigerian. Like, what the hell is that? And then you say, when I went abroad, there was one time. At this time, I didn't even have workers. One girl came and she was like, but they would never do this. And she was late for her appointment, and then she claimed she didn't have the address, but you sent your hair to the address. She now said, this will never happen in the UK. I'm like, oh.
Which part?
Me. I switched to my British accent. I'm like, oh, that's funny. I said, what part of the UK? Because as far as I'm concerned, if you book an appointment in the UK, you have to be there 10 minutes before your appointment time or your appointment is even invalid. So I'm pretty sure you're right. She said, I didn't know they used to keep the time in Nigeria. What the fuck does that even mean? You're late. And you're yelling on the phone and making threats. Oh, you're gonna hear from my lawyers. I said, okay, let your lawyer. I said, let your lawyer contact my lawyer.
Very good.
That's another thing, please. If you have a business, make sure you get a lawyer. Even if it's cheap one, shall make sure you get a lawyer. Lawyer will get sense too. Yeah. Because
some people
people do try you. And that's if you're gonna have a lawyer. My lawyer is even the one that told me that I need to make sure my policy is gum on the wall. Yeah. So even things like, you can't keep your hair in my shop for more than 3 months.
Some people do that.
One lady kept her hair for 1 year. Now came, I was saying, I said, I don't, who did you give your hair to? The person doesn't even work here anymore. So now, where do you want us to start looking for your hair from? Obviously, there's some situations where the hair is actually there. Maybe you come every time, but you've not installed it. And you're like, I be out for my hair, and I've seen it. So that means I have a constant remember. But if you've not come to the shop for over a year, your hair is here. Maybe if you don't die, or maybe you have relocated, you don't throw away. I know one time again. Maybe if we maybe someone has even seen it and seen that this hair has been here, let me even take it. Or that one that we start decides to steal a bunch of hairs and your hair is inside. How we gonna know? So even now they even say we should change it to 24 hours. If your hair is ready 24 hours, they call you, your hair is ready. You don't pick up. It's your business.
It's too soon.
Because that one causes a lot of problems. So you need policies that protects your company and protect your brand. Yes, you have to make sure that you're protecting yourself, because it's very easy for people to come and say, customer is right, customer is right. Did you follow the rules though?
Ivy, this is too impactful.
Did you follow the rules? So you can't be expecting magic. I don't know, like, where do you think it's going to happen?
After listening to all of these things, I'm going to make some adjustments and amend.
Even me, I'm still learning. Even in the next 3 months, I'll probably change all this I'm saying. So,
Yeah. But what I have learned now is to be able to put your rules down. In fact, put it clearly so they can see. So that you don't have to argue with anybody.
If you go to Life Mates, their policies like this. I even took a picture one day. I'm like, yeah, because you won't go to Life Mates and shout at those Chinese people. You will sit down. They tell you to wait. You will wait. That they waited for 30 minutes. They said they've not confirmed my alert. I wanted to cry. They now said they want to close. I should come tomorrow. That's where they saw my madness. So I said, close. We'll be in the shop together till that tomorrow. Because please give me my couch. They say, oh, drink water.
Which water?
But it's there stated, you can't shout. So if you're ever shouting, the person that will even come and meet you will be like,
are you okay?
Because it's not even the big people that are going to come and attend to you. It's probably the gatesman that will be like, madam, please calm down. They don't shout for you. So that's embarrassing. Do you understand? So you watch yourself. If you're going to watch yourself when you go to Lebanese restaurants, Chinese restaurants, why won't you check yourself when you're in a Nigerian-owned business?
Oh my God.
Check yourself. So that's why I say avoid stiffness. People are not going to like you for it, but guess what? You would attract reasonable and tangible customers.
See, I don't know about you, but me, the reason why I've been so quiet is because I'm thinking of how I'm going to readjust my policies and put it clearly. Like, you know what? I feel like I got the best person for this accountability thing, because you made a lot of sense. You were lecturing me. I can't be like saying I'm the mumu. Like say I don't get business.
No, even me. I'm not even gonna lie. Even me, like,
because sometimes if you are not firm, you would implicate your own self. You'll be hurting yourself.
If you check it, when you do sales, the amount of people with complaints are always more than when you're not doing sales. Am I lying?
What's in the soap? Exactly. If anything happens, they'll feel like, oh, because you did sales, you did not put the right amount of.
I'm like, when we did 15K, you had a lot of people come and say, oh, the frontal was lifting. Meanwhile, we saw you in the club yesterday. But okay. Who knows what other activities? But but when I have clients that would do the regular 70K installs and they're like, I want to remove this hair today, please. Tomorrow I'm coming again for another install.
My God.
At the end of the day, why are you burning yourself for other people that don't even appreciate it? Do you understand? The people that you give discounts are, this one has been coming. Whether I say 100K, then they come. You now say, give her 30% off. You don't give 30% off to everyone.
What I have learned is that aim for tangible clients.
Quality over quantity.
Quality client. That's why you see me. I love home service. I love home service. See, sometimes in a day when we have 2 home service, I'll say everybody close up. We're done.
Before I used to say I didn't like home service, but I eventually realized what it is that I didn't like about.
Because you can actually set your price home service.
So you see the thing. This is how I set my own home service. It's 2 times the price.
Yeah, of course.
And then you pay for logistics.
Plus logistics?
Yes, that's 1. 2, if I come to your house and I get to your house at 11 o'clock and the installation is supposed to take 1 hour, 30 minutes. If by 12:30 I'm not done because you decided that you want to go and boil rice, you want to go and breastfeed, you want to go and just with your friend, oh my God, let me go and see my husband. Jesus, make I go check the rice, make I go check the bread. If by 12:30 I'm not able to leave your house, you're paying me money for every extra time that I'm there. Remember, I told you time is money.
Baby girl, you just came and you're busting.
Time is money, oh, time is money. So if I've charged you, because like I said, it's 2 times the price. So if the service in the
Mine too is 2 times the price.
if the service that I'm offering exactly, so that means you know that in the studio it'll probably take 1 hour.
Yeah.
So 2 times the price, that means it's still supposed to be 1 hour that you're spending there. Then why will I be in your house and spending 4 hours when I could have had another client in the shop that will be paying me for that?
You don't understand. When they pay that twice the price and you enter, you go through this hold up, you get there, they believe that they own you for the whole day.
Not me and you. Me, I think
I be so there's one. I will not say name. There's one of my clients. Anytime my girls go there, see, they will even give them food because it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day.
There was one client. This was 2021, I think. She called. She booked me to her house. I got there in time. In fact, I was even earlier, and I had already told her my policy. I told her the price and everything. I got there. She now said, "Oh, her sister is doing. Whether she said she's sleeping, or she's doing her nails. What were they doing?" They gave me bed. They gave me bed. I sleep. Yes, I sleep 3 hours. I wake up. They say, "Oh, she's doing something." I sleep again. I wake up. When I finally did that, she said I should wait so that the photographer can touch up. I wait. I wait. When we finish, I give her a bitch. I say, I say, see the time I got.
You say wicked. You know even they talk. Say all this time is money.
I told her, I said, you're paying. You know, you're gonna pay me for shit. Maybe she thought
Maybe
that I
as
was
you're
just
laughing,
talking.
she thought, oh my god.
I do the everything with this. She even did 2 looks. That my sleeping time. I had them because I forget my house. They sleep. That's because like at the end of the day, even when you go to work, right? People that work 9 to 5, they know that they get to work at 9 or maybe a few minutes to 9 or maybe 8 o'clock. I don't know. Some people tell their workers to resume like 1 hour before the time. You resume work and you close at a certain time. You get paid every month. If you're going to divide that money, you know that that's how much you're getting charged. In the UK, they pay you per hour, right? That means if I'm late 30 minutes, they will reduce that money from it. So why?
And if you work extra, they'll add.
Exactly. So that's how I implement my own money making into my own life too. Because every hour I spend, if I'm not making money, I better be using that time for myself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be using it to please somebody or satisfy somebody with my own time.
Did you go to like you go do how do they call business?
It's a lot of trial and error. I'm not gonna lie, because with everything in my business, it's trial and error. I'm self-taught, so it's not anybody
good.
that I sat down to teach. So it's like I make the mistakes, I realize the mistakes, and I fix them. So that's pretty much how I've been running my business, Sha.
You guys, thank you so much for staying till this point. You already know that this is well packed. It's super packed. Like I just after this I'm going to write a lot of things I learned. This is so full. Please continue to follow us on all social media platforms at The Truth Pod. Yes. And all streaming platforms. You can listen to our audios on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere.
That's so nice. Like I thought that was so like grand.
Yeah, it's good. So at The Truth Pod, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Truth Pod, and let me allow her tell you where you can get her.
Find me on Instagram at Touch of Ivy, Touch Central. If you want to learn anything, the Touch Academy on Instagram. Thank you guys for tuning in. I had fun doing this.
It's very classy.